right, good morning. It is June 29th at a little after 9:30. We apologize, we're having some technical difficulties, and the meeting may not be live streamed, but it will be recorded and hopefully published at a later time. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In our prayer for the morning, Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligations. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
Steve, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve the minutes of June 22nd.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. And we will move into our resolutions. First up, we have Andy Conrad, our county engineer, and standing in is Josh Wolf.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good.
Just one resolution today, and that's for resurfacing the Sleepy Hollow Road between State Route 42 and West 130th. That'll occur yet this year. Bid price came in right around $700,000, if I remember right. $663 actually, so about $60,000 under our engineer's estimate. This is part of an OPWC project, and look forward for your approval to move forward with that. And then we had 43 permits last week.
Move to approve the resolution.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Dan will be back next week.
Thanks, Josh. Very good. Next up, we have Amy Lyon Galvin, our Assistant County Administrator. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. I have 15 resolutions for your consideration this morning.
Rivalry, Pataki.
I'm trying to, rival Pataki. The first one is amending the appropriation measure resolution. The second is amending the 2021 appropriations resolution by transferring appropriations. The third resolution is expenditure adjustments for various funds. The fourth resolution are revenue adjustments for various funds. And the fifth is cash transfers for various funds. The sixth resolution is authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds from various county department accounts to the gasoline rotary fund. The seventh resolution is authorizing the Medina County Emergency Management Agency to add a donated inflatable boat with a motor and trailer from Lafayette Township to the Medina County insurance schedules. The eighth resolution is the creation of the Adult Protective Services Fund and authorizing appropriations. Ninth resolution is creation of a Family First Council Early Intervention Fiscal Year 22 Grant Program Fund and authorizing appropriations. 10th resolution is authorizing the purchase of 7,000 gallons of regular unleaded gasoline for the engineering center. This is to Ports Petroleum at a price of $2.205 per gallon for a regular unleaded gas. The 11th resolution is authorizing Trinity Services Group to assign their contract for food services at the Medina County Jail and Juvenile Detention Center to Aramark Correctional Services. 12th resolution is then approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with Aramark Correctional Services for their food services at the Jail and Detention Center. 13th resolution is approving a memorandum of understanding for the Medina County Adam Board to participate in the Office for Older Adults programming. 14th resolution is allowing expenses of county officials. There are 2 activities under commissioners, 1 for the juvenile court, and then 3 for the sheriff's department. And then the 15th resolution is approving claims for the week in the amount of $1,254,264.71.
Move to approve the 15 resolutions.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
People are out.
I'm sorry.
People are out traveling again. The world's opening up.
Yep. Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, sorry, Holly. We have our Human Resources Director. I was in a different world for a minute.
Good morning. On our personal changes resolution today, we have 2 new hires, one at sanitary and one at job and family services, a lateral class transfer from county home to commissioners, a rate increase in sanitary, a change of leave in sanitary, and a return from leave in sanitary.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Holly. Next up, we have Scott Miller, our County Administrator. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
I'll try to pay more attention now.
I have 4 resolutions for you today. The first resolution is approving a memorandum of understanding with the Lodi Community Hospital. This is for participation in 340B program. As we discussed last week, they are desiring to participate in the discount drug program, providing pharmaceuticals for low to moderate income individuals. Memorandum understanding, this resolution approves that memorandum. The second resolution is authorizing Intertech PSI to provide special inspections and tests related to the Medina County Courthouse project. These are those inspections and tests as required by Ohio Building Code. The amount estimated is $63,175. The third resolution is revoking the previously declared state of emergency in Medina County that's related to the COVID-19 emergency that was declared by the governor. And the final resolution is authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. This is for a capital improvement grant in the amount of $12,251,574 and is for the expansion of the Medina County Jail facility.
Move to approve the 4 resolutions.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have one commissioner resolution, and that is to reappoint a member to the Medina County Home Advisory Council. And we are reappointing Melanie Gardner with a term expiring August 19th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll
Just a
call.
comment, I was gonna say, just a comment, thank her for being willing to
Thank
continue
you,
to
Melanie.
serve.
We appreciate it. Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. We are proceeding into public comment. Do we have anyone here from the public that would like to make a comment? And hearing none, we'll move on to discussion session. So I'm going to assume, Scott, are you going to, or Amy, talk about the county home?
Or maybe Greg? I don't know.
Well, Greg, okay. Come on up, Greg.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Greg.
All right, first slide. Next slide. Always a good intro slide. Okay, so continuing our discussion from last week to bring all of the options that were presented to the advisory council during the 2 special meetings in April. So the 0.2 mil renewal, the replacement, and then the renewal with increases, 0.05, 0.075, and 0.1. Now with these, all options exclude capital improvements. All these options have no staff reductions. They all retain Aramark. And then the amounts for where they end at the end of 2027 is at the bottom. So the first 3 are negative deficit, the last 2 are surplus.
But at the county home, for a point of clarification, we had told them we would need a capital improvement of the boiler, and that's taken care of.
Correct, and that wasn't, right, that wasn't my next slide, but
Okay.
absolutely. And
Okay.
and it was my, thank you so much for using ARP funds to do the boiler and upgrade our HVAC. Very much appreciated. So there's a good visual on the next slide. It's kind of a breakdown. So options 1 through 3, all 5 of these were presented to the advisory council. However, the first 3, when presented originally, had staff reductions and the food service vendor replacement, because I wasn't going to present them options that didn't end in a positive surplus. That would defeat the purpose. But this was to show exactly how each would end with the same criteria all the way through: no staff reductions and retaining Aramark. This just shows from cost per 100,000 home valuation what each currently costs for the option. Option 4 was when it was presented and approved by the council to present to you. I also had a recommendation in there about the boiler replacement, which there was my lead to about, but the ARP is taking care of that for us.
I have a question.
So Greg, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The cost per 100,000 K per home, would that include the increase that they would have for losing their homestead exemption, or is that just straight levy? When you look at, the dollars per 100,000, does that factor in losing your homestead exemption or no?
So just the opposite would, or to clarify then, that's the straight amount. If they qualify for it, it would be less, because that's where they would receive it. And so if with 3, 4, and 5, all of those, the renewal part of that, the 0.2, they would still maintain that. So that would be, it's an auditor question. I'm not sure exactly what that exemption looks like for them, but that's the standard
So that
price.
exemption is likely not included in that line, what the cost would be to lose the
That's just a
exemption.
rollback. And they'll
Yeah.
get reimbursed by the state anyway.
The $7 is the total. What happens is, instead of, the property owner would be required to pay the entire $7. Right now, that $7 is.
So it is an accurate figure, is my point then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but again, the difference is that $7 is paid for, currently is paid for, some of it's paid for by the individual, and some of it's paid for by the
The
state.
rollback.
And if you go with option 2, 100% of that's paid by the individual.
Right. And so just a little bit more about the option 3. The .075, the one that was selected by the advisory council, at the end of 2027, it begins to end in a deficit of 15,000. So how that works is, when I did my math, the average yearly expenses exceeding revenues is about 47,000. So option 4, without any capital improvements, reaches a cash flow deficit in 14 years. I'll get 2 complete levy cycles, starting with 2023, 2 levy cycles, and almost through the 3rd levy cycle is how long it should last me, if that's without capital improvements.
Right, but you're going to have some.
Which I am, and I've got, we've been talking about, I do have my sheet up. I've got, from 1982, I've got flooring that I need to replace, carpet to pull out. I have hardwood floors that I'd love to get refinished, so they, it brings out the beauty of the home. A fob system on the doors, some more cameras to hit some areas that I don't currently have covered for the protection of the residents. My parking lot needs resealed. It's getting pretty bad now. These are all things that if I had money, I would like to do those.
Mhm. So Greg, is it the advisory council's recommendation, your recommendation, that we go with option 4?
Did you see this new chart
Yeah, I was, yeah.
that shows the deficit makeup that we would have to
Right.
make? Yeah.
Correct. So the recommendation that I'm bringing before the board today is that the advisory council on the 28th of April recommended option 4, 0.2 renewal with .075 mil increase.
And so the renewal allows property owners to keep the homestead.
For the .2,
right,
yes.
For the .2 portion of it.
Yes, sir.
And it allows us, at least absent capital improvements, to stay in the black over the 5-year time frame.
Yes.
I guess, if I may, was just going to point out, what we're doing is This is the advisory council is proposing, the commissioners are proposing as well. Ultimately, it's going to be up to the voters to make that decision. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Ever since 2001, when we put it on the ballot, we're allowing the voters to make that ultimate decision. So it's just a proposal based on our best estimate. I'm gravitating to, obviously, to support option 4. I think this is the best course. I don't want to have a planned budget that ends in a deficit. There's always the unforeseen. Thank you. I appreciate the level of detail in terms of the capital improvements. I mean, there's a lot of, over the next number of years, they all make sense to me. And so this is our would be my recommendation as well, that that's what we go to the voters. So we're essentially, what we're asking then the increase will be $2.63 per $100,000 home a year. From what they currently would be paying. And I'm fine with going and asking the voters for that this November. If they choose that they don't want to, for whatever reason, and it goes down, then we'll just have to reassess and evaluate and see what we can do. But there will be an election in every community this November. Boards of trustees, council members, even some mayors in the cities and villages, and likewise the Board of Education. So there'd be a low turnout, likely, but that's the nature of our local elections sometimes. But it comes down to everybody will have that opportunity to come and have their opinion heard regarding the support for the county home. So I'm fairly confident that I think this is a good proposal. This makes sense, and frankly, I support option 4 and suggest that we proceed with putting it on the ballot for November.
I support the renewal still, for 3 reasons. Number one, we're still, heading out of the pandemic. Even though we reversed our emergency, we still have businesses and individuals that have suffered because of the pandemic. Number 2, the ARP money that we've received, the $35 million that we've received. And number 3, right now we're building the courthouse. So I support the renewal, but I also support the county home, and I am willing to not have any cuts at the county home, not have any capital improvements not be done that are needed, not cut staff, not cut Aramark. I would like to see our substantial carryover subsidized for the next couple years until we are past some of these huge things that have happened in our community in the last 18 months.
Yeah, and I would agree with Steve. I think that the county home should be self-sustaining and should have a budget that reflects its true costs and all-in costs. So I would support option 4.
Thank you. If we're good?
So
You're good?
we have to pass a resolution.
We do, so with your concurrence then, or decision made yet today, we can present that resolution sequence beginning next Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Good enough.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Greg.
you.
Scott, you have anything?
Yeah.
I know Skip's not here yet, but I know that,
Skip is actually sitting outside.
there.
is he outside?
Waiting.
Okay. So I sent a memo to you last week. I know that we've been talking about transferring a piece of property out by the New Horizons building in the Juvenile Detention Center to Metropolitan Housing Authority for the construction of a housing. I know that they have obtained the ability to purchase the property next door to our property, which would allow them to build a 10-unit facility. They did provide a memorandum of understanding that I provided to you. So the question is whether or not the board wishes to move forward with the donation of the property to Metropolitan Housing Authority for the construction of this facility. And if so, I can get this memorandum of understanding on the agenda the next couple of weeks to have it approved.
Could Skip, I guess, describe the project then? The scope, not only of the additional 10 units, but I guess just go ahead and describe overall who this is meant to serve. The permits.
Skip, please come up to the mic.
For the purpose of the public
Yes.
and everything.
Yes,
else.
we're
Okay, sorry.
recording everything, so.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
purpose of the public.
Not
Thank
that people couldn't hear me. Good morning.
Skip, if you just introduce yourself. real
Sure,
quick.
Skip Cypus, the Executive Director for the Medina Metropolitan Housing Authority in my 27th year. Again, good morning. So
Good morning,
the
Skip.
three-prong approach that I mentioned a few weeks ago when I attended, the permanent supportive housing piece, this is housing for folks who are homeless but have federally qualifying disabilities. It could be any range of disabilities. It could be a veteran with a traumatic brain injury. It could be a number of federally qualifying disabilities. These 10 units would be permanent supportive housing. They'd be individual apartments. We've worked with the city and secured their support for the location of the property. And the folks that would be served would also get wraparound services. As you remember, I bragged about the great services we have in this county from the many agencies. Those would be coordinated. We would also work to make sure that there's rental assistance provided for those folks so that it's affordable long-term and can be maintained. It's the key thing here is to make sure that we maintain this in the long run, not just build it and hope for the best.
So these would be owned, operated, maintained by Medina Metropolitan Housing Authority, is that
In
correct?
conjunction with our affiliated nonprofit. Yeah,
Right.
there's some
Well, they would
reasons for
provide the
that.
service, the wraparound services for the residents depending on their eligibility, correct?
Yes, there's a significant determining eligibility
Right.
process. We'll own the land, they may build the building. It depends on the simplest way to secure resources.
Right, right. I just want to make it clear to the public.
Sure, yeah.
And be assured that this still remains in public hands.
Absolutely. The beauty of this is the housing authority is accountable to the public. You get one appointment to our board, and as I like to say to folks, in the event something's wrong at one of our properties, my board members are kind of chewing on my hind end to make sure it stays in. So the accountability function of this is by far the best piece of it.
So Skip, tell me about the option on the lot next to it.
We have a signed contract to purchase it. There's some contingencies, doing a phase one environmental audit, making sure it appraises for the value. But that giving us over an acre. I told Scott earlier, I was able to squeeze 5 units of a similar design property on a third of an acre. So I'm pretty sure I can get 10 units on this basically combined 1 acre parcel,
So on the whole parcel?
on the whole parcel.
So the intent would be is that the county would provide the half acre.
You're
I think-
.46 and that one's .62. Yeah, so I got a little over an acre if I combine the lots.
Okay, and then combine them, and then the facility would be built.
Correct.
Okay.
I think it's a wonderful use of the property, and I'm supportive.
And I guess to just show the public, you will be working with the city of Medina regarding the design, layout, landscaping, and the conformance with the local zoning requirements.
Yep, we've already met early on
Good.
with them to make sure that we secured not only the administration support, but the ward council persons.
Good, excellent. I think it is a great use of public
And
property.
the zoning folks?
Yes, Jonathan Mendel is,
Jonathan,
you're
yeah.
familiar with Jonathan. He's been working with us very closely on this.
Okay,
Excellent.
all right.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
appreciate it.
I'm supportive of it.
Go forward.
That's all you have, Scott? Jeremy?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Jeremy.
2 things. One, we got the draft RFP for the new skills at the solid waste district, so I'm hoping to get that hopefully wrapped up in the next couple weeks. Present resolution to allow us to go out for bid and get those concrete scales removed. Also, I'd like to maybe introduce our new solid waste coordinator, Lisa Burskin. I don't know if you want to come up and put you on the spot, and maybe you can introduce yourself.
Lisa Burskin, Solid Waste Coordinator, Day 2.
Well, welcome. Welcome
Thank
to Medina
you.
County.
Thank you. So, yep, I got a few tours and learning the lay of the land over there, and going to meet with the scale house and do some more trucks reporting and see how that's working out, but, yep,
You're getting new scales soon,
yes.
so that'll be helpful.
Yep.
building?
New building,
building.
new offices, so very exciting.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, but how is the new building coming?
Good. We are still on schedule to, we're still on schedule to have the building renovated by the middle of August, and I believe they're getting ready to start installing the elevator here pretty shortly, so next couple weeks.
Very good.
So,
So
exciting
Lisa,
time.
that'll be a great project for you to have a grand opening and
Absolutely. I'm loving the new purple drywall at the moment. So I did a walk around this, yesterday, so it looked great.
Excellent,
I'm
excellent.
excited.
And Lisa, where do you come from?
Republic Services, and then formerly Erie County Solid Waste Coordinator as well.
Got
So,
it. Excellent, thank you.
yep. So,
Welcome.
yep, thank
Welcome to
you.
Medina County.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Well, thank you.
Thanks,
Very good.
Jeremy. Stephen, do you have anything? Christina?
No, thank you.
Amy? Alan? Steve?
I got nothing for discussion, but we do need a motion for executive session. so.
Yep. Colleen?
We had some couple good things happen last night in the budget bill
Oh,
down at the
yes.
state.
Yeah.
They did take the broadband amendment out, so we will not be affected by that adversely, and they did put $100,000 in for a homeless shelter, so there was a couple things for Medina County that were good in the budget bill last night. At 1 in the morning, I guess it was
Yes,
passed,
yes,
so.
Excellent, excellent.
But I do want to say publicly, I want to thank Skip for all his work. I wasn't able to attend the homeless coalition last week, but Amy attended and briefed me, and I'm just so happy how the leadership you're taking and the housing network and moving things forward and taking a look at very strategically how we're dealing with this issue. And certainly bringing everybody together and getting the data is very important to make sure that whatever we build is scalable, likewise meets the need, and also that our community has the agencies and enough support to, once we, as you have indicated very clearly, it's just not getting them and giving temporary shelter, it's giving them long-term supportive shelter that they need, as well as the services they need to overcome the problems that led them to becoming homeless. So I think I greatly appreciate Metropolitan Housing Authority as well as the other agencies and everything you're doing in that area.
And thanks to our local state reps for supporting
this
the
and voting
project.
yes.
Yes,
Yep, indeed.
very much helped us at the budget bill.
Oh, yeah.
Riley, do you have anything? Okay. So we have a need to go into executive session to talk about IT security matters. So Steve, could we have a
Yeah,
motion?
move that we go into executive session for the purpose of discussing security matters.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
yes.
Hudson?
Yes. Thank you. Back on. Okay, we are out of executive session at 11:19 and back into general session.
Move to adjourn.
Roll call, please.
Hambley?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Good holiday.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's.
I know it's funny to be on a